Amazing. Well, good morning, everybody. This is another lovely episode with today. I have a very special guest. You guys, today I have with me the winner of the very first Raw Transformation, Miss, soon to be Mrs. Karen Shears. I want to share with you guys a few fun facts about Karen. Karen, you're going to love this. Maybe.
Oh, God.
For one, she's a no bullshit person. So, I mean, if you expect her to sugarcoat shit, you're not in the right group. Though she might be a basic bitch. She's also extremely competitive. Like, it's insane. She loves Legos. Type in the chat box if you love Legos too. And Karen, I have to share this too. She used to fear eating tomatoes because she thought that they had too much sugar in them. Yeah. I had to put it in there.
True story. Yep.
Karen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys, just a quick heads up. Not sure if some of you guys saw yesterday's post, but if you stay until the end of the episode and you follow the first two steps of what the post said yesterday with regards to what is one common trait that all winners have, and you're here today, one of you guys will be picked for a scholarship for the next round of the Raw Transformation, and Karen will announce the scholarship and will choose the scholarship. Ooh, pressure. By the end of the episode. So make sure that you stick around and listen to this entire episode. Cool? All right. So, Karen, in order for us to understand or get a better description of, how life is now different, tell us about your journey before you started the Raw Transformation. Like, what led you to it? Basically everything, health and fitness related.
Yeah, for sure. Oh God. Well, I'll start at the beginning. I mean, weight and fitness and everything has been in my life. I mean, since I can remember, but really when I was in high school, I was a competitive rower. And you guys might not even know this, but I had to be on the lightweight rowing team because I was just on the edge of, what the weight class was, which was 135 pounds, which like that number always resonates with me. And so I always struggled to make it. I was always like 1 or 2 pounds over. And, I was always I remember the days before a race, I would just eat like lettuce and drink water. And it was just like so horrendous because then I had to row for like an hour. But that's kind of like when I think everything started with me and trying to figure out how I could be an athlete and, what was the best diet for me. Mix that with my mother being like a very loving Jewish mother who likes to cook a lot. And, the way she shows her love is through food. So I always grew up like eating a lot of food and having all this amazing food around me. So not really like knowing what to eat or how to eat and how to kind of like be healthy and what was considered healthy. So that was high school. And then, fast forward to now, which is, oh God, I don't even know how many years later. I've gone through so many different diets and so many different things of, like trendy diets, like freaking Atkins or paleo or Weight Watchers, every single type of workout plan from, doing 3 hours a day of cardio to doing CrossFit to, everything in between. Obviously, when I went to college, I gained the freshman 15. I went to school in Miami where everybody is just like totally beautiful. That was a wake-up call. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get skinny? So kind of always trying to be better and trying to get skinnier and more fit, but not really knowing how. And then what really kind of like led me to you guys was I was living in California and I saw you guys at the gym.
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, those girls are really fit. And then you guys had started your, training. And I literally thought about it for a year before I committed. Like, I remember you guys like sending emails and I asked you guys a couple of questions, but I just like wasn't ready. I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't do it because I just like failed so much. And I just like didn't believe that this would be any different. And, but then it was the summer of last year now, and I turned 30. I had gone on like a total bender. I was like eating and drinking like a lot. And I had gained about 5 pounds over the course of the summer. And I had just kind of had enough. And I'm like, let me just try this because I just keep I keep trying different things and they're not working, but maybe this will be different. And I was literally flying and I was sitting on the plane, like, am I going to do this? And I saw the email and it was like, this is the last chance. This will change your life. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it will. Maybe it will. And I was still scared. And I still message you guys, like, can I do this while I'm traveling? Like, are you sure? Like, I just was just so scared. But I did it. And my first week of the challenge, I was actually traveling for work and I had to figure out how to still, eat the way, you guys wanted me to, and to work out, and I did it. And then the rest is history. And then I was like in full competition mode. So that like really kickstarted it for me.
I love it. So, I want to sidetrack a little bit, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. So I want to ask, why were you scared?
I was scared because I just felt like over the years, like I had tried so much and it would work for like a month and then it wouldn't. I would like either like go off track for a few days and then I would just like not like I would just forget about it, or I would be like starving myself and not seeing results, or like I just felt like nothing would ever work long term and I was like destined to just be like an average size person. Like I never really considered myself overweight, but I was like never happy with how I looked. And for me, like that was so hard because I like demand like greatness for myself in every part of my life. And like I know that if I put in the work, I will succeed. So like that's how it's been with me with work, or like with me with my partner, like I always feel like if I put in the work and if I really try, like it will happen. But like with weight and working out, like it didn't. And that totally frustrated me because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like I keep trying and I keep doing all these things and like it's just not working.
Sure. So I'm hearing a few things, and these are important. So it sounds as if you were scared because, for one, your initial expectation, right, was that you're going to be disappointed,
Yeah.
right? Just simply because of past experiences,
Yeah.
right? And the second thing was, the experiencing the pain that comes after the disappointment, because you said that, you strive for greatness in every area of your life, but like that was the one area where you're like, man, like I can't seem to figure it out. But your belief system was that it's something that could not be figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I just thought like this is it. Like I'm just looking at Vic's comment. She says I used to live off Vita Tops. That was like this thing I used to eat in college. Like I would try everything. Like I just felt like no matter what I did, it just like I just like wasn't destined to have a good body or ever feel like comfortable in a bikini because I tried everything. And I thought it had to be really hard. Like I was like really nervous to commit to you guys because I'm like, damn, I don't want to like start this thing again where I'm really hungry and like really like freaking hating my life. Like, because that's how I felt half the time when I started something new.
Because that was your expectation leading up to it.
Yeah.
To be 100% transparent with you too, and I think, we've talked about it too, like that was me for a very long time too.
Yeah.
So, for any of you guys watching, if you can relate to this, let's take a moment to raise your hand. Like, I want to know if this is like a common thing. I know that for me, like for the bigger portion of my journey until, I've suddenly it clicked and then I was on a mission, to help others do the same thing. Like I struggled for the longest time ever, right? So like, do you feel like leading up to this, it kind of like maybe created that all or nothing like persona because, with everything that you tried, right? It's like you either had to completely restrict yourself and like starve yourself, which like you even said like scary because shit, like that it's not fun. It's not that it's like even uncomfortable. It's not fun. Like you would row for an hour. That shit's uncomfortable. But it's like it's torturous, right? So do you feel like the initial expectation that you had was that was what basically fed the beast that created like that all or nothing mentality?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then, like it took you a year. Okay, so you said it took you a year to commit, right? But
Yeah.
throughout that entire year, would you say that you were in an uncomfortable position or not so much?
Yeah, I mean, I was not feeling great that year. I was just kind of like I was living in California. I again tried something new. I was doing CrossFit. That's where I saw you guys, but then I moved and I was living further away. So I was like, I'm going to do hot yoga. Like that's going to be my thing now. So I like switched like 180 from CrossFit to hot yoga. And I leaned out a little bit. I mean, I was like sweating my balls off like every day. And then I also tried Whole30, which it worked. Like I didn't eat sugar or alcohol or anything for a month. I mean, I was like miserable too. I mean, I was like not going out. I was like drinking like 10 LaCroix a day because I was like, I don't know what to drink. Like, so yeah, that year it was fine. Like I was liking where I lived, but again, like everything in my life just seemed to be okay and good, except for this like weight thing. I just like couldn't get it. And I was like, I'd have my good weeks and my bad weeks, but overall, I just felt like I'm still putting in the work and just not seeing,
Sure.
results. I would see like a picture of myself in a bathing suit or something, and I'm like, like it's not, I don't feel good. So
Looking back, for somebody who's as much of a go-getter as you, you're like, you're very successful in your career, like you have this like relationship goals with CJ. Like if you guys were to see CJ, he's like this like gorgeous Italian man who's got like blue eyes, like the Caribbean Ocean. Though we always make fun of him, we actually love him very much. He's so sweet, right? But like if you look on the outside, like and that's like, let's take it back like 1 year ago, like you've got your shit together, you've got your life together. However, like when you feel as if you're not like your body is not in alignment with other areas of your life,
yeah.
how did that affect you internally?
Yeah. I mean, it bothered me a lot. And like, I do think it came out in my relationships and like with my friends and with my, even colleagues sometimes. Like, I would just feel like, I'm struggling with this and I can't figure it out. And then I would like have a day or a night where I would like eat bad. And then I would just be like, a bitch, like honestly, like that night or the next day, because I was pissed that I like fell off track even more. And then I would be like, oh, I'm not going out for the next like 3 days, like almost like punishing myself, or just feeling like, I have to get back on this. And it just like had a negative impact on my relationships, I think, too, because I
Really?
was just not happy.
With who?
I mean, like even with CJ, like we talk about all the time, like after this, like I have this balance now that I love where I'm like, I can feel comfortable like going out and like doing things and not feeling like I'm going to just be like negative about it, you know, the whole time. Or like, even like when I'm, you know, going on business trips, like before it would be just like, oh, like it was a thing. Like when I was on a business trip, like all my clients knew, they're like, what diet are you on? What diet are you on? What restaurant do we have to go to for Karen? You know? And it was fine. But then I would be like sitting there eating at a work meeting and like mad that I feel like I'm not eating totally well. And then like, you know, that would impact maybe how my vibe was during the meeting. Versus now I'm like, we can go anywhere. I feel great about what I'm doing. And I just feel like happy where I am, you know, and I know I can make good decisions now. So yeah, I think like everything, it just changed. And I, you know, after a few months working with you guys, I just felt like this change in my like persona even.
Sure.
And things started to change then, which you guys know, you know.
Yeah, well, I wanna talk about it in just a little bit, but you know, I want to ask you this one question first. Do you feel as if, though you always had the right intentions, right, until you were given the tools that you needed to acquire in order for you to find success, like there was a misalignment between your intentions and your actions? So, like, though you always tried to be good, right,
Yeah.
in retrospect, like you kept on fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like my intentions were always good, but and this is the crazy part too. I was like, I like to cook and I like to meal prep and I do all those things. So even like before you guys, I would do that. So that like wasn't an issue for me. But then I'm like, oh my God, I'm spending all this time meal prepping, but like still I'm not seeing results. I'm like, if I just like knew what to freaking meal prep, like I could do this, you know, or if I just knew like what to eat, I could do this. But and it's just like so simple. Like I didn't think it was ever that simple. And like you guys said, like I was scared to eat tomatoes because I thought they had too much sugar and too many carbs.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't know.
Right.
And it's just so crazy because now I know. And now I'm like, I've been, you know, on the right track for over a year now. So,
Sure. So, you know, let's talk about, you know, you saw the email, you were in a plane and you're like, you know what, you basically like did a Hail Mary. You're like, you know, like if not now, then it's probably never.
yeah.
Right. Um, let's talk about the raw transformation. So for one, let's talk about like the results in which you achieved during those 8 weeks. Like
Yeah.
what shifts in your body actually happen?
So I mean, I did the obvious, like I lost weight right away. It came off quicker at the beginning. And then it kind of started to, you know, lessen. And that upset me too. Like week to like, first of all, I weigh myself like every day before this.
Mhm.
Now it's like maybe once a week, if that. But yeah, if I wouldn't lose a pound like overnight, I'd be like devastated. But no, I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of inches. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would just start to see changes. Like, I mean, you guys had me take pictures, which is obviously the most important thing, even more so than the scale or the measuring tape. And that those were the ones where I was like, wow, like this is really working. It's really hilarious because the first set of pictures is from the Legoland Hotel because I was on a business trip. So now anytime that picture gets posted, like all my colleagues are always texting me, like, what are you doing in the Legoland Hotel?
In a bathing suit.
I'm like, look at that promotion. I'm even working when I'm not, whatever. So yeah, no, the pictures really like helped me kind of like stay on track. But yeah, I mean, like lost weight, lost inches, lost like just like in pictures, I just felt better and better every time. And yeah, you know, obviously my just like my perception on everything.
I love it. And I remember like numbers wise, you dropped 8 pounds and 10 inches in 8
Yeah,
weeks.
I don't even remember at this point because I'm like so far beyond that now at this point. I mean, I now I'm down, I think from then I'm down maybe like 20 pounds. Yeah, I mean, because that was over 8 months. And I remember I was like hovering around like 150. That was like my weight when I started. And I was like, damn. And it was always my goal to get to 135 because that's that number from rowing. And actually, this is so crazy too. I just got a new license in Florida. I waited like 2 years to do it, but I need to vote. So I got a new license. But I looked at my California license, and in California, you put your weight on your license.
Mm-hmm.
And I put 135, even though I didn't weigh that like at all. Like I weighed 150. But I was like, this is what I want to weigh, and I'm putting it. And it was so funny the other day, I picked out my license and I saw that, and I'm like, yo, I'm lower than that weight now, bitches. Like I'm 130. Like I just like couldn't believe, like I lied about that weight, and now that weight is too heavy, So that
I
was
love it. It's like you're in a different playing field. So I want to ask you guys a question. How much weight are you looking to lose? Type it in the chat box. I'm just wondering, what's the average? So for you, you said it was like 20 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, like I've lost 20 pounds over a year. I finally feel in a place where I'm happy with that. And like, I never thought I could do that. And I never thought I'd be happy with my weight. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't care if I step on the scale and I gain a pound or I lose a pound. Like, it doesn't matter anymore because I'm just working on like refining my body now. But yeah, 20 was the number. I didn't think I could do it. So I didn't even say that. I said 15, But that's how I'm at.
Question.
Yeah, go for it.
Karen, would you have thought that you even had 20 pounds to lose?
No, I didn't think I could. Like, I didn't think I was like, oh, my body is like, 140, like 135. Like, oh my God. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Like, no. Because that was like high school weight. And that was like, even in high school, I had a hard time being that weight. So I was like, this is just not my weight. Like, I just don't think it will ever be that, So yeah, no.
Sure. Junilyn's asking how tall are you? You're like 5'2", right?
5'7".
Oh shit! What?
Damn, you think I'm that short? Come on.
I actually remember when I met you in person, you're like, shit, you're way shorter than I thought. Which is, I get that all the time, and it's the truth. I want to ask you guys a question, right? Because Karen, from your story, for you, 135 was a symbolic number because when you rode, that was basically like the different category that you had strived to achieve, right? It's like you always wanted to get close to it, but for some reason you couldn't. So it kind of like created this turmoil in your head. But for you guys listening, right? Like I want you to take a second and think, like you just wrote how much weight you want to lose. Okay. So like what is your goal weight? Now, my question to you guys is, what experience in life you think has defined what should be your goal weight? Because I think we all have this number, right? That we're like, when we arrive at this number, life is going to be so-and-so, right?
Yes.
So take a second to think about that experience and write it down. Like, I would love to know what that experience is. I feel like a number that women say a lot of times, it's like either 125, right? Like for the shorter, smaller ones, or 150 for the medium size. And then a lot of times for anybody who's like at around 220, like their benchmark is like 170-ish. So it's like, where do these numbers come from? Like, how do we create them? Allison Gondek, you played varsity tennis. That's amazing. So did I. Okay, so normally your old best is something that you compare your current goal weight to.
Yeah, I think that's accurate for sure.
Yeah. Okay, the weight I was when I thought I was fat before I had kids. Okay, so it's normally a past experience that you had that kind of like gave you this, aha, like this is what, I need to like, cool. So now we talked about the physical changes that have happened since. And for one, congratulations. Like I will always tell you that, right? Like, I mean, of course you put in the effort, you did all the right things and you followed the steps. And I mean, to know that you went from like what, 15, 20 years of trying to figuring out and just like kind of like spinning around in circles to finally like be at peace, right? And actually proud, like it's a complete game changer, right?
Totally.
But we just talked about, when it comes to weight loss, we all think that when we weigh so and so, life is gonna look like this, right? However, I feel like all these like conventional diets or like other programs, right? One thing that they lack is to talk about the internal changes that lead to the external changes. So what internal changes do you remember have happened while you were going through the raw transformation that kind of like gave you the pathway to just like unleash your beast?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first one, which you guys really helped me with, was just like, kind of like not being so hard on myself and not like self-sabotaging if I have like one bad day or something. I think like you said, before, and everybody says this, like I'm definitely an all or nothing type and I like do everything to the extreme. So if I had like one bad day in the past, I would just be like, I'm done with this. And why am I doing this? And I did have a couple of those days during the transformation, which I, talked to you guys about and talked to the group about. You guys remember the one very vividly when I had Panda Express.
Share it.
Yeah, so I had Panda Express. I work from home most of the time, but I had to go in the office one day and I made a salad and I was like totally prepared, but I forgot it on my kitchen table. And then I had only like 30 minutes between meetings to get lunch. And all there was a food truck outside our office. And I asked them if they have anything healthy and they laughed at me. And it was literally a French fry food truck. I was like, no, I will not do it. So I got in my car and I drove to the nearest like place I could find, which is Panda Express. And I'm like, oh, they have like steamed vegetables and chicken teriyaki. Like, it's not that bad. Like I could be way worse. So I like loaded up my plate with veggies, had the chicken. And then like the next day, I think I gained 2 pounds.
3.
Oh my God. I don't even remember. Yeah. So
3.
I was so mad. I was like, are you serious? And I was just like, I'm done with it. Like, this sucks. I've been working so hard and all my hard work has gone to waste. And, we talked about it and you guys are like, are you kidding me? Like the sodium in that thing, like you should have gained 6 pounds. So that really helped me put it in perspective. But yeah, that was like a really big breakthrough. I think just like realizing that I can slip up and like I can live my life and no one's going to punish me for that. I was punishing myself. That was really it. But you have to let yourself live and not be like that all the time. You can't be like a freaking robot. So that was a really big thing for me during it. I think another thing was just remembering like my why and why this all started. And you guys had us like do a post about that, and the whole group kind of like really like dug deep, and that was really good to just kind of remember every time I felt like things were getting hard or things, weren't going the way I wanted, was to remember my why, which, my why really surrounded on me never being able to succeed in this, even though I felt like I should be and I could, and that was really like why, I wanted to prove that I could do this. So yeah, I think those are probably the biggest things. And then, yeah, just like everything I think in my personality, like started to transform, like as I started to see results and feel good about, what I was doing. I just think, I'm overall like a very positive, like happy person, but it just like made life even better. Like I just felt like just happier and you know, just better in every kind of other aspect of my life outside of this. So.
I love it. Do you think that had it not been to the tools that would have, you know, just changed your perspective and have given you the roadmap with regards to, okay, like this is what it's really going to look like, and this is what you should expect, and you know, like basically being guided through it, do you think that the physical changes, for one, would have been achieved, and for two, would have been sustained and improved since?
No, absolutely not. Like, there's no way. And that's why I'm like constantly telling you guys, like, I'm forever grateful, because like so many other things I've done, like, it's like, sign up for this, you'll get a little like printout, and we'll leave you on your way. And then I'll see pictures of like the program and all these other people losing 20 pounds and posting their before and afters. And I'm like Kayla, like that I did this one workout, like Kayla, it signs like, oh, you know, it's just like, you kind of like, you get like all the tools and you're all pumped, but then you don't really have the support after that. And like, that is so crucial, because, you know, you need that. You need like to have somebody to go to when like things aren't going well. And then also, yeah, like at the beginning, like the tools that you guys gave, just like the general tools, like those tools were better than any tools I had ever gotten, because, and I was looking for a freaking meal plan from you guys. Like, I was like, why aren't they telling me what recipe to make for breakfast right now? You know, like I really thought that's what I needed, but you guys gave me this like general guidance, and like, it just totally worked, and it changed how I view food.
Do you feel like that's what you thought that you needed because that's what everybody else was doing?
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
I thought like that was the only way that I could succeed, because I just felt like you had to go to the extreme and be as strict as possible and follow everything to the T. I mean, I had done plenty of diets where I had to track my macros and use my Fitness Pal. Like my Fitness Pal, like that app needs to just get out of here for me. Like, I mean, I don't have it anymore. And I know Tammy, if she's not here, deleted that. And that was like a huge day for her. But it's so true, because I feel like so many of us are like handcuffed by these calorie counters, and you know, you have to do it, and it's like, oh my god, that's just so miserable. Oh, this is another funny thing. I had 3 food scales. I had one in my
Stop.
one in my kitchen, one in my office at home, and one in my office at work, because I could not eat anything without weighing it. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you ever told me that. No, let's go back to that Panda Express experience when like you guys, Karen reached out to us and like she freaked the F out. She's like, that's it. Like I just, you know, like I did this and I had good intentions and this is what happened. And my response to her was like, well, I'm glad that you only gained 3 pounds instead of 6 pounds with this Panda Express bullshit, right? And she was laughing. But let's say, right, like you didn't have the support throughout, let's say, an experience like that. Knowing Karen, right? Like, what would you have done?
I would have talked to CJ and he would have told me I'm crazy. And I would have talked to my mother, who also probably would have been like, you're crazy and you're skinny and you're fine. Like, you know, everybody's like, oh, you look great. But it's like not yourself, you know, like you know, you have a standard for yourself and nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you what that is. So yeah, I would have probably talked to like 1 or 2 people in my life that I'm close to and been annoyed about the situation, and then been like, screw this. Like, I gained 3 pounds in one day because I ate this Chinese food. Like, all this work, you know, is gone to shit in a day. So like, what's the point in doing it now for another like 2 months, I think was the course of the challenge. Like, I would have just been like, well, you know, what's the point? Because I'm just gonna like go off track if I eat bad for one day. You know, that was my mentality.
Right.
So I would have just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. So powerful. I love it. Well, I mean, so raw transformation lasted 8 weeks. You crushed it. But, we're talking, and we're 1 year basically past when the raw transformation ended. Okay, hold on. I'm going to need Tony. Good morning. I love you. I'm going to mute you. I was wondering where that noise was coming from. But, fast forward 1 year, right? Like, let's talk about all of the things that have happened to you in your life, and that, compounded the shift that you've created ever since, even after the raw transformation.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. You guys are like, think I'm making this up, but I, for one, got engaged to the love of my life. That happened in February. I started the raw in September, and I finished the raw in November. And that's when I actually started looking at rings. And I like told you guys, I'm like, you guys, you're never going to believe this. Like, we're looking at rings. And like, it's so crazy because, we've been dating at that point for like 5 years. And I was like, we have like this amazing relationship. Like, just because I like lost weight, that's not why I'm getting engaged. But I truly believe that was like something that helped. Like, it made me feel like really good about myself, and CJ like felt good about us, and like everything was just like working, and like we just felt like in this amazing place. And like we started looking at rings, we got engaged. Like, it's so crazy. And I remember the first day I went ring shopping, like we're at the beach, and I was just like feeling good about myself, and then we like looked at rings. It was just like the best. So we got engaged. I also moved to Miami, which is literally been my dream since I started working for this company, which was 10 years ago. And we literally don't even have an attraction in Miami. So I was like, how will I ever move to Miami? And you know what? It happened, and I made it happen for myself because I felt like I could make anything happen. If I put it in the universe and I like try hard enough, just like I did with this, like it happened. And I think it's because like my overall just energy and everything was just like great at work. And I convinced my boss that, I could do the job for Miami, and it happened. So now I'm living in Miami, and like literally my dream home. Like, I had this apartment on my vision board like 5 years ago, this exact apartment. And now I'm living here. So that's crazy. I've, succeeded in my career. Like, I'm in a VP role, which, that title and that position had always been like a goal of mine. And now I have that job. There's obviously been a massive pandemic that has completely impacted tourism in my industry. And, I've managed to survive that and survive many layoffs and many furloughs. So I'm so grateful for that. I mean, those are the biggest things. But just like everything is just going well. Like, everybody always like comments on my like social media and my Instagram and stuff. They're like, you're just like living the best life. And I'm like, you're right. Like, I'm not even going to say I'm not. And it's like, oh, I'm so jealous, or, oh my God. Like, I'm like, dude, you can do it. Like, not like everyone can do it. Like, you have the potential, just do it, just like make your dreams come true. And, yeah, it's true. And then this week, something else happened. I launched an art business, which I'd been trying to do for years, but I just never had the desire to kind of like take the next step. I've always painted as a hobby. And so many people always told me like, you should really sell your paintings. And I just never did it. And I was like, this week, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. And I'm just, it's going to happen for me. And I launched it, and I already have 4 requests for paintings now. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is so incredible.
Yeah.
Do you feel like overcoming the challenge against yourself has basically catalyzed like a level of confidence that now makes you believe that, okay, if I can overcome myself, right? And feel this level of confidence, it gave you like this symbolism that now anything is possible. Like if I can do this, I can do anything.
Yeah, totally. Because that was the thing that was always holding me back, that like I couldn't do. And even though however hard I tried and however much I thought I like had the secrets or, you know, anything, like I just couldn't figure out how to be happy with my body. Like I remember like you guys interviewed me like a year ago when we first did the challenge, and like even after like 8 weeks, I was still like, I was really happy with my results, but I was like, I want to go further, you know, like this is just the beginning. And like you asked me like, where do you see yourself in a year? And like I said, like, oh my God, if I could like feel good in a bikini and like take a picture and like feel good. Cause I had never, ever like felt good in a bikini or even posted a picture of me in a bikini. Like I refuse. And now I freaking live in Miami where like literally people are taking bikini pics like every other day. Thank God I feel good. And this year for my birthday, like I posted a picture of myself in a bikini and I like couldn't believe it. Like I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I felt like really good about what I achieved and I did it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it's just so crazy. Like I just, even when I said it a year ago, like I didn't really think it was possible, you know, when you asked me.
Sure.
So yeah.
Oh, I love it. So, I mean, man, for one, congratulations. Like really, it's an honor and a pleasure to just see this, right? And this is why we do what we do, you guys, because like nothing beats that. Like to know that like Karen now feels unstoppable and she's doing shit that she never thought that she would in her wildest dreams because she has gained this level of confidence that made her realize that, look, if I won the battle against myself, then everything else is so simple, right?
So true.
Life is simple. Life is simple. Now,
and the battle is not that hard once you figure out how. That's the crazy part.
right.
Like I thought this is going to be really hard. And it's hard. Yeah, everything takes work, but like, it's not that hard. All those other diets I did were 10 times harder. I will say that for sure. Like everything else I did was way harder. So this is good. Like I can do this.
I love it. So let me ask you this question because, I feel like a lot of people who are, whether listening now or who will listen back later, with the kind of community that we attract, like you guys are go-getters, right? And you guys are health conscious people, just like you when you came to us. So, you probably know like what a protein is and like, you strive to eat your proteins and your vegetables, right? But I want to talk about the importance of actually having a coach and being accountable to a coach. How does that change your performance once you actually work with a coach, even though you're like the kind of person who's like, yeah, I know how to eat right? Like, what is the game changer?
Yeah, I mean, you guys like as coaches like guided me every week. Like I had questions every week, like because I thought I knew how to eat right, but I obviously didn't. And nutrition is literally so key. Like I didn't realize how important that was, which is why I would eat a piece of cake and then work out for 3 hours and think like I'm good. I'm not, obviously. But yeah, like the tomato thing, I didn't eat veggies for so long because I thought they were carbs and they were bad. Like I literally did not buy veggies. And now veggies overtake my fridge. Like I can't even get enough veggies like in my life, like there are just things that I needed you guys for. And like every week I would have questions on that you guys helped me with, like even like servings of like eggs. Like I would make like 3 eggs for breakfast and I thought that was good, because like society teaches you that that's good and marketing teaches you that that's good. Like, oh, a hearty breakfast of eggs. Like I would have like eggs, bacon, and avocado.
Because it's got no carbs.
Yeah. but like that fat is like more than I should have been having the whole day. And I had no idea. I thought I was being good, you know? So like, I would just ask you guys things like every week, and like every week things started coming together more and more. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and I would like also try to kind of like cheat myself almost a little, like, oh, like this like soup is like, okay, you know, it's made out of all veggies, but like you guys would be like, Karen, like that is like the sodium in that thing, like, come on, like, or like the acai bowl, it's like, oh, the acai bowl is fruit, like, you know, and you guys are like, it's a treat, like do it if you want, but like, no, it's a treat, like. So yeah, there was just a lot of questions I have. Like now I still have questions, you guys know, like I'll still ask you things, but I feel like I've evolved a lot in like just how I eat. And I just feel so bad when I go out with people that are like trying to be healthy and on a diet, and they think like that what they're ordering is good. And I'm like, no, it's just not. But I learned that from having you guys.
Because now you know, and it used to be you before, and we get it. Like it used to be us too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And that was like the other thing with you guys, like so many coaches, I think like you just think they're naturally like that, or like they're gifted, you know, with this body, and or they like are Instagram influencers. So every single moment of their lives is like working out and eating well. So of course they're gonna have a great body. Like, but like I knew you guys like have a life, and you guys like you show me your before pictures, you know, and I'm like, damn, like they weren't like given those bodies either, you know. And that really also motivated me, because I just felt like, you know, I'm just not like, I'm not born to have this body, you know, but you guys like weren't born in your bodies either, you know?
So good.
Yeah.
So who would you say the raw transformation is good for?
I mean, everybody, I think, you know, everybody can benefit. But really like, I think if you have, you know, struggled with eating or working out or anything in the past, if you've tried different diets, this is not a diet. I mean, it's a lifestyle, which is like so cliche to say, but it's something that is sustainable. Anybody who just feels like they want to overcome like a challenge with weight loss and dieting, like you need to do it, and you need to like trust that this is different, because everybody who just thinks like this is just another thing I'm gonna do and not do well, I'm like, you will be proven wrong, like so bad. And I just can't shout about it enough. And like you guys know, I tell like every single person I come into contact with to do it. I have a couple friends on this call. So yeah, it's Vic is here. I know she's here. I've literally, like, you guys know, I've had so many people like get interested and contact you because I've talked to them, but then they're scared. They're like, I was, you know, like they maybe won't commit for like a year, because it's like, I can't do something and fail again, or I can't pay for this and it not pay off. But it's like, it is like so freaking worth it. And like, what is like, this is another thing I say all the time now, is like, what's the best that can happen? Because like saying what's the worst that can happen is like, that's what everybody says. And like, why are you going to take yourself to a dark place of what's the worst that can happen? Like, think about what the best thing that can happen is if you do this. And like, that is where your mind will start opening up the possibilities, you know? So that's my new favorite thing to say.
What would you tell somebody who's like, you know what, like, man, like, this is so good. Like, this is inspiring me so much. Like, I feel like, you know, you're speaking to me right now, but I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, I will say like, ask yourself why you're scared, and figure out like, you know, how to kind of like mentally get over that, because there's no reason to be scared. Like, you know, you are capable of so much. Like look at other parts of your life where you have succeeded. I'm sure there are plenty. I'm sure you can find one, you know. So I think that like every human is capable of doing things and overcoming boundaries, and like, don't be scared, you know, because I think the biggest reason why people are scared with this stuff is like, they feel like they just don't have like the discipline to commit, or they think it's going to be really hard and they just can't adapt it within their life, or they'll start next week, or they'll start next month. Like I always hear that, like, oh, I'm really gonna do it, but like I'll do it next month. It's like, dude, like I freaking wish I started this 5 years ago. Like, and I can't look back now, you know, but it's just like, don't be scared. Like there's nothing to be scared about, and you can do it, and it's not that hard. Like anything else you try, I am like almost positive will be harder. So just like do this and just be happy for the rest of your life that you tried this. That's what I would say.
Man, I love it.
Yeah.
What if, you know, somebody's like, I really want to do this, but man, like it's October and we're headed into the holidays right now. Like I feel, and I have all these things going on, and I feel like, you know, like though it's a good idea, like the timing just like isn't right now.
Yeah. I mean, that was me. Like I sent you guys like a list of like 5 questions where I was like, can I do this when I'm traveling? Can I do this when I have a wedding? Can I do this when this? Like life will always have like things that will come up, and you know, it's never going to be a perfect time. The holidays are the best time because what happens, everybody like falls off track like crazy, and then you start January 1st on your resolution, and then you're like, damn, I've like spiraled out of control for the past month. And last year was the first time that didn't happen because I had just come off the challenge, and I was like so freaking happy that when I started the new year, I was like already well into my journey, and like I'd already lost like all this weight, and I was like, yeah, I'll set a resolution to like lose some weight and like do more, but like I don't really feel like bad about it right now, or like I have to do this because I'm so bummed that I just gained like 10 pounds over the holidays. You know, I was like in such a good place in the new year. Like I remember I like went on like a boat cruise and like went like to dinner, and I like ate whatever I wanted because like I earned it, you know, like whereas before I would have been like, oh, like I don't want to drink or eat bad because like it's just another day that I'm like gaining weight and not doing good, you know, like so you need to like start now and never look back, and you like it'll be amazing to have tools during the holidays because this is like the time when it really gets hard. And even working with you guys, like you can still eat like cookies, and you can still eat that Thanksgiving like meal, like it's fine, like it's all good. And that's what I learned and I love, because I still can, like, you know.
Did you do the turkey shred too?
Yeah, I did, which is really fun. I brought like protein like home, and I made my mom buy almond butter so I could like make my shakes. But yeah, I did that. I worked out in my basement. I like did a bunch of burpees and stuff. Like I would have never done that. I would have been like, I'm home for the holidays. I'm not working made with love, so it has no calories. So like I'm not gonna be losing weight over the next 2 weeks, you know, like I would have just like accepted it, you know, but I didn't last year.
So this year we actually timed it in a way where the turkey shred
Continue after the Panda Express event and not fall off.
Junel, I mean, I don't know if Junel, do you still want to ask that question? Okay. I'm gonna unmute
Oh
you.
no, she said, what does it look like now when you go out? What are your limitations and indulgences?
Oh, right. That's really good. So, and that's something that you guys have really helped me with a lot. Like even yesterday I had a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I go out, like I will tell myself before I go out, like what the plan is, because it's like always important to have that in your mind. But there are nights when I go out that I'm like, I've earned this tonight and I'm going to eat and drink what I want. And I do. Like I've had a whole pizza and I'm proud of it. Like I will have nights where I do that because I freaking am really good during the week. And you know, you need to kind of like give yourself that treat and like let loose and like live your freaking life, because this is not like something that if you're like so bad like or so good like every day forever, like it's just like not gonna happen. It's not sustainable. And like I follow like Erin and Sarit on Instagram, and they'll be like posting like their tequila drinks and stuff. I'm like, yeah, girl, like get it, you know, like this is life, and we should, you know, do indulgences that we want. So there are some nights where I definitely eat like whatever I want and whatever I drink whatever I want, and I don't feel bad about it, because before I used to feel really bad after I would do that. And then what is the point in doing that when you feel bad about it?
Amen.
But there are other nights where I'm like, you know what? I want to be social and go out, but I really don't want to like fall off track. Like, so I'll look at the menu before and I'll be like, you know, maybe I will indulge in like a cocktail or two, but I know that I'm going to eat like a salad with, you know, chicken or something, where it's, you know, not as bad as if I would have like gotten the cocktails and, you know, the freaking fried burrito or whatever. So, you know, I've figured out a way to, and I'm still working on it. Like, I'm definitely still working on it, because, you know, now that I live in Miami and I have all these friends that love to eat and drink all the time, like, I'm definitely not perfect. I've fallen off sometimes more than I like care to admit, you know, but that's life. And like, I can accept that now and kind of move on from that. Whereas like before, I would just be like so down on myself and I would like give up or like fall back into these bad habits. But like now that I've been doing this for like a whole year, it's just like so second nature to me to like fall off track maybe and get back on and like give myself a little bit of slack, realize I'm not perfect, and realize that like we're all human and you can still sustain this life and like still fall off sometimes. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I never thought that was possible before to have that type of balance.
Love it. Ashley Fuller asked, what is the biggest thing you mentally have gone out of your journey?
The biggest thing I've gotten out of it?
Mentally, yeah.
Just like acceptance that I can, you know, not be perfect and still succeed. Like, I think that before, like I said, like I'm very all or nothing type, and I felt like I had to do everything to the T, and you know, if I didn't, I would be really down on myself. And now I feel like I can sustain a lifestyle and still be happy and not be crazy all the time, and forgive myself for falling off, which is not really falling off. It's actually just like living my life. I'd say that's probably the biggest one. And then obviously proving that I could find a way to be happy with my body. I mean, that's like insane. I just like never thought I ever could.
Oh, so good. Danny asked, what happens to you after you eat a whole pizza?
I probably gained like 5 pounds, honestly, but I don't know, because I don't weigh myself the next day. Like, what's the point? You know, like before I would weigh myself because I'd be like, damn, I'm really bad and I need to be punished and I'm not going to eat for 3 days. And I gained 5 pounds. Let me weigh on the scale and make sure that I gained 5 pounds and be even more mad about it. Now I'm like, that pizza was freaking good. And like, I'm not going to weigh myself the next day, because why would I, if I maybe gained a few pounds, because I know it's just water weight and it'll come off. And then I'm like, it's a new day and I'm going to work out because I love working out and I love eating healthy, and I'm going to go do that now. Like, it's just fine. Like, it is what it is, you know, and I enjoyed my night and now I'm enjoying the next day. You know, it's just like fine.
I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of working out, Priscilla asked in this Kickstarter, because we're doing the Kickstarter challenge, I've worked out every day. I feel like I have to work out every day to keep momentum. Do you still work out every day?
No. So that's another really cool thing that I learned working with you guys. Like, I try to do like a gym or weight workout like 3 to 4 times a week. And before, it was like 5, maybe 6 days in the gym, like at CrossFit, like going hard, or at hot yoga, like sweating, like I had to. And if I didn't, I was mad at myself. Now I'm like, I'm building this muscle in the gym these days, but the other days I'm going on a walk for 30 minutes, or I'm like going on a bike ride, or going on a paddle board, or just resting. Like, I don't feel like I have to work out every day. I feel like it's important to have movement almost every day, which is something that you know, you guys really taught me. Like, we did a challenge once where it was like 20 minutes of movement a day for, I think it was like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, you know, I don't know about that, you know, but every day when I would do it, it was like over in a second. And I'm like, oh, I just went on a walk, and that was cool. You know, like that was fun. Like, it doesn't have to be like this big gym session, like lifting heavy, you know? But I think it's important to have movement, but I just realized like you don't have to work out every day, and you'll be okay. Like, it'll be fine.
I love it. I love it. Are you guys having fun? Put your thumbs up if you're having fun. Karen, thank you so much for all of this. Well, let's get to the funnest part, shall we?
Yes.
So yesterday we made a post because we will be giving a free scholarship to one of you guys who have responded to the question of what is the one trait that all winners have in common, which there are many. So all of you guys have answered the right question, and it's amazing. And if you're watching this and you're still here, some of you guys have responded on Instagram and you have like a really cool Instagram name. So I mean, if Karen picks your number and it's your Instagram name, then we'll ask if you're here. And whoever is here and Karen picks out, hey, nothing in life happens by accident. And that means that if you showed up and you acted like a winner and Karen called out your name and you're here, then you deserve this. Okay, Karen, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I see Erin's face in the corner.
15. Okay.
I'm looking at the sheet. I want to know who won.
Pick a number from 1 to 15.
Okay. So I thought about this. I was going to pick my lucky number, but I want to pick something that resonates, which we talked about earlier, which was the amount of weight I lost during the transformation, which was 8 pounds. So number 8.
Peace, Love, Balance 2012. Who is that? I love that name, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that's me. Thank you guys so much.
Wait, who is it?
This is Priscilla.
What's
You answered my
Priscilla?
questions. Oh my gosh.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Hey, I mean, you deserve it. So Priscilla, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now that you're going to be in the raw transformation, for one, congratulations.
Yay.
What are you looking to achieve from it?
Actual mental confidence. Like, I feel like I'm a positive person, but I want to have that like consistent confidence and just like love myself consistently, and you know, not backsliding and feeling ashamed. I know I'm capable at short term, but I'm looking forward to long-term goals. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you for being here today. It's been great.
Awesome. I love it. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for everyone that's going to do it. I'm just like, it's just like amazing. I like don't even have words. So I can't wait for all you guys, whoever does.
Who else is going to do it? Or has already signed up? Type in the chat box. Type it. Okay.
Jake, Danny, Jalen. I know there's more in here.
Ivy. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Courtney, I think that's Collins.
Oh, Jerry's
Brittany
crying
Burns.
on Zoom.
Brittany Burns, I'm debating. I want to shake people. I want to shake them. I want to shake the pennies right out of you and give you the fighting chance.
Yeah.
Karen, what would you say to somebody who's debating?
Like I just, like Erin said, like just do it. I'm like literally gonna shake you and tell you. And if it's like, just think of what the reasons are why you're not. Like, if you're not doing it because you're scared, we talked about that. You shouldn't be. If you're not doing it because of the cost, like that's a big thing. I know for a lot of people, but think about what you've spent money on in the past that has not changed your life. I'm sure there's a lot of things. And like, I mean, I don't even know what the cost is, but like, I will say like, I would pay like thousands on this because this is like literally going to change everything. So no amount of money, like figure out a way to make it happen with the money. Like, because no amount of money will like, you know, justify like not doing this. Like, I just feel like, you know, figure it out and think about all the other things you spend money on and just think about like, do those things change your life and change your persona? And most of those things are probably no. So do it. There's no reason to be scared. And it's going to change everything. Like, I'm telling you, I mean, I struggled for over 15 years and I never figured it out until now. So
Karen, thank you so much for your time.
I am happy to be here. I am happy to talk to anyone like off this if you guys want to message me or anything, because I would never like talk like this about something I didn't believe in or do anything like this. Like, I'm definitely not one of those types. So I'm more than happy because this is something that I really feel like has changed my life forever. So.
Where can they find you? Where can they, if they want to connect with you and ask you more questions?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram. Karen Shires on Facebook or
Is
on
it
Instagram.
Shires? We call you Shares.
Yeah, everybody does. It's okay. It's okay. My Instagram is Shy, like SHYAZ. So yeah, you can find me there.
SHY, easy.
AZ.
Amazing. You guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope that you found a lot of value today. And if you know you're listening and you know that you want better results and you can resonate with Karen's story, literally, you need to do this. Because life 1 year from now is going to look so different. And Erin and myself and Karen and anybody who's done it will tell you that they will come to shake you. But by the end of the day, I'm just going to leave you with that. The only person who can change your life is you. So if there is something that you either feel scared about, unsure about, or you know, you're just not sure how you're going to make it happen, the only question that you need to ask yourself is, how will life look different once I achieve the results that I'm looking for? And ask yourself, are you worth it? Because if you don't believe that you're worth it, then we can never change you. And that's just the truth. But if you believe that you're worth it, then start dreaming. Look at how much Karen's life has changed. She's engaged. She has moved to Miami. Like, shit, you started your own business. This is something that you never even told me about. Like, she's the VP of a company. Like, it's the ripple effect. Yeah. It's about everything else that's going to fall into place into your life because of the confidence that you've built. And ask yourself, what is the value of that? And if you feel like you're worth it, then figure it out, because the universe will help you find the way once you give yourself the chance. Otherwise, you'll be blocked. But, you know, this is me telling you this with so much love and care, because we want to help you, but you need to want to be helped. Thank you guys so much. Have yourself a beautiful weekend, a happy Friday. Karen, thanks again. You're awesome. All of you guys are awesome. We're hoping to see as many of you guys in the Raw Transformation, because it's going to be the best one yet. Have a beautiful weekend, and we'll catch you guys on Monday. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Izzy says bye, too.
Bye.
Bye.